The museum is for the entire community. The people who work here work on behalf of the entire community to collect and preserve and interpret these works of art. There are all sorts of different things that can happen here, and all you have to do is walk in the door. In 1972, we opened as the Museum of Art for Penn State. Our building was modeled after the Whitney, so it was a modernist brick box with very little architectural detail, unlike the building now. In the late 80s, Barbara and James Palmer supported the museum gifts that enabled us to have a much larger space.
So we just decided that there was a need to expand the museum. And it's one thing to look at a postcard or a book or online, but seeing a painting in person or a sculpture or whatever, it makes a big difference. And so from an educational point of view, we think it's very important to have a museum here.
One of the definitions of a museum is that it has a permanent collection. So that means that there are works of art that we basically own on behalf of the public, and we take care of, and we conserve and preserve and exhibit them.
European art, which could be exemplified by our rather extensive collection of Italian and Baroque paintings. We have paintings dating from colonial times up to contemporary times. And we have ceramics from all over the world, including China, Korea, Japan, England, Scandinavia.
On one hand, museums are attended in the United States more than sports activities, more than football, more than baseball, more than any other sort of offering.
It's really neat because I get to use the Palmer in my own study. In my oil painting, I go and I look at different styles and at different time periods, and that's really great for me to use as a personal resource, but a lot of times it's really helpful for me to see a different style being used.
I recently went to the Palmer with my oil painting beginning class, and we saw how glazes work, and I've never even heard of a glaze until my professor took me over and showed our entire class, and we got like about 3 inches away from the painting instead of always standing back.
When I would go into museums when I was a little girl, I would walk in and think it was magical and think there are all of these wonderful things from the past that I can look at and think about.
I think that too many of our schools now are cutting out the arts, and that's a great loss because art is very important in the joy of living.
It's a learning experience outside of the classroom, which is really great for us because it's not like we have to take them far because it's right across the street, but it's a totally different experience being in the Palmer versus being in the classroom. Well, we had the kids sit in front of a large piece of artwork, and a lot of them had said they'd never seen something so big, so that was great for us, and they were just looking up at it in awe. They really connected with it because it wasn't a slide on a PowerPoint, it was the real artwork.
There seems to be works of art that people connect with at a personal level for any variety of reasons. And those are the things that they remember, and those are the things that they're excited about.
She got the idea just to come here because I think it's such a beautiful art museum.
I want people to leave this museum feeling like they have had an experience that was worthwhile, that they learned something, and I want them to leave feeling like they have to come back.